Joe Biden showed that he is corrupt to the very end. But now let's think about this for a second. Let's just go back in time. Now, while all you guys were studying, I was hooping on my driveway. While all of you guys cared about school, I did not. But one thing I did was I read 3 newspapers damn near a day. The Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, and the Gary Post-Tribune. I've talked about this. And I developed a little bit of a sense, just a little bit of a sense of what's real and what's not. And one thing I know to be real is there is corruption when you have never made more than $275,000 a year and you own 4 mansions, valued each of them at more than allegedly $3 million, or $3 million valued at 4. I can't keep it up. And one is on Rehoboth Beach, which is the rich people's playground over there in Delaware. I remember I was dating a lovely Lee Ross. She goes, yeah, we're going to take the kids, my neighbors, myself. We're going to go to Rehoboth Beach. I'm like, what the hell is Rehoboth Beach? There's a beautiful beach somewhere up there. Well, guess who's got the biggest shack up there? Biden. So then what does Biden do? And I know this is going to piss off our bosses, but I got 2 things going here. One, don't talk politics to start the show. And the other, Dan, do what you're passionate about. So I'm going with the passion today. Aren't you tired of the See what happened today? Did you see what happened today? Joe Biden, as only Joe Biden can. Only Joe Biden can. He pardoned General Milley. He pardoned Dr. Fauci. He pardoned Liz Cheney. He pardoned members and staff of the Select Committee to investigate January 6th. Now, let me ask you all a question, you dumbasses out there that got fooled by that. Why? Anyway, Biden is the exact opposite. Biden is like corrupt. When he does one thing a little bit good, oh, wow. Corrupt. You see the difference? Like, I'm great. Oh, my God, a repost. Oh, geez, we got to go crazy. Oh, my God, Reddit said. Oh, my God, we're going to go nuts. We're good. You see what I'm saying here? Do you see? This is who Biden is. While I always use myself because I'm a narcissist. Good. Oh, my God, one mistake. We got to go nuts. Biden is corrupt. He is corrupt all the time, corrupt all the time. Like, this is how I feel about it. I feel like, oh, my God, shut the fuck up and go away. Just go away. Go. And don't come back. See, I felt this way the other day. He was talking, he was giving a speech, and normally, because I'm a bit of a news freak, I would go, all right. Okay, I want to pay attention. I want to see what's going on. No interest. When he speaks, no interest. Zero. Right? I mean, none. Nada. Zip. Zilch. No, none. Like right now, he might as well be a corpse up there speaking. He must be a guy. It just might be, oh my God. So, if Fauci, who, by the way, I was telling my wife, this is a problem for Trump. Nobody knew Fauci, right? Nobody, but who had to stand up there initially when COVID hit? Trump with Fauci. Why? Because Fauci was in charge. He was in charge. So he was the guy. And then it all started coming out. Wait a second. What's his involvement over there in these labs? How much money is that guy making? And then Biden pardons him. And now we move to January 6th, which, if you've paid attention to videos, if you've paid attention to different things, you know is pretty much a sham. You know what I mean? Honest to God. Yeah, you're right about that, Gary. I never brought it up. I give it to you. All right, let's start the show over. Delete. Seriously. Anyway, Fauci goes about the business of, hey, here's the deal. We're going to go about the business, damn it, of ruining lives. Ruining lives. That's what we're going to do. Well, that's not good. So he gets pardoned. And I knew this. I knew everything about it. I did. I knew about it. You knew about it. We all knew about it. I'm just saying. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I am at with it. I didn't. A couple other things. This it's Milley. What are we doing here? Why? Why January 6th? Why? How many more? Why? No, that's the question I got. Why? Now, when you go about the business of pardoning people, shouldn't you have the American people in mind? Shouldn't you? Shouldn't you have the American people in mind? I think you should. I think you should have the American people in mind. I don't think you should have anybody but the American people in mind. And I think that if you are an elected official, that's the number one thing you should have in mind. Period. But you don't. You have you in mind. And that's it. And that's not good. See, you're a servant of us. Holman said to the committee, you work for me, and that's what you do. You work for me. And you don't. When you pardon people that, well, lie, cheat, steal, and then we don't have the opportunity to go about the business of doing what? What? The business of saying this is what happened, let's have full exposure. That's what you got to go about. And we don't do that. No, we don't do that. Why? I don't know, because we have corruption. I want to know what happened with Fauci. I want to know what happened with Milley. I want to know what happened with January 6th. Nobody else does. The President of the United States does not. The President of the United States doesn't want to do that. The President of the United States just simply wants to go and make this about protecting his political allies. That's not the American way. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not how this goes. It's not how it goes at all. It shouldn't be. It can't be. But it is. And it's sickening. It's disgusting. It is absolutely effing disgusting. But that's where we are. So anybody that did anything wrong, why is Liz Cheney being pardoned if she didn't do anything? Why is Joe Biden pardoning Fauci if he didn't do anything? Why is the January 6th committee preemptively, all these people preemptively being pardoned if they didn't do anything? Why? Tell me why. You can't tell me why. You absolutely cannot tell me why. Because frankly, you don't know why, other than to say this entire thing is corrupt and it should piss off every single American. I don't get pissed off a lot when I read things, but that pissed me off. That pissed me off, and I think it should piss you off too, regardless of whether or not you are a Republican, whether you are a Democrat. I don't care. It should piss you off. As Jason Whitlock said, the American people don't even get answers to some of the biggest questions in the history of this country. They don't. They don't get answers to what the hell was Fauci doing, because why? He doesn't have to testify. They don't get answers to what the hell was real about January 6th. If I'm Trump, I'm going to get the answers, though. If I'm Trump, I'm like, all right, you may not go to jail, but you're going to get the answers. You're going to get the effing answers. You're going to get the answers that the American people demand, regardless of whether anybody goes to jail or not. We're going to have a committee. They're going to get up there, but apparently they're not going to have to testify. I'm making a public spectacle of this. I'm making a freaking public spectacle of this whole thing. That's it. Because when you are corrupt, and then you end with a corrupt thing, we got to look at it. The American people should demand this, but they won't. It'll be half and half. Well, you know, he did. I'm actually looking at what's going on. I'm actually going to look at what is, during this show, what is the response to this, right? What is the response? Like, what is the response from people? I purposely did this on Facebook because a lot of my high school classmates were very much pro-Trump. I'm sorry, pro-Biden. And I said to myself, hey, Biden corrupt to the very end. He fooled a lot of Andrean folk on here, kind of surprised. Here, oh, the real corruption starts today, this guy says. But we ignore that, which we think care. Okay. If people did nothing wrong, a friend of mine from high school said, why the pardons? Well, I don't know what to tell you. I know this. When you're corrupt, every damn day, you ended up corrupt. That's it. And when you're good every day, generally you ended up good. Do I believe any of these politicians are good? Hell no. Hell no. But I've never seen one like this. And I've studied this stuff. Like, I know I look like a dope, but I study this stuff. It's ridiculous. Next. Dan Campbell, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Serious business. Shut up. Yeah, I'm crying. We lost the game. It's my fault. Okay. See, here's the deal. Remember this. Don't ever forget this. Do not forget this. Do not forget, ever, that when you lose a game, the coach is going to be blamed. Period. Unless you are Nick Saban and you lose a rare game, or Urban Meyer, or you're in the Hall of Fame of your particular sport. If you are, then you can get on the dais and say what my man here, Dan Campbell, said. Let's play what Dan Campbell had to say. And it's emotional and it's great. And everybody and their mother is going to go, oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is awesome.
When you lose these games, man, it's like the players, you know. What they put into it, a lot of people don't know, you know, what they go through. You have to get up. Bodies beat to shit and, you know, mentally stay locked in and do those things. So, long season.
What happened on the 12-minute on the field penalty?
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Mick going down so early.
Look, let me explain this to coaches. Great in the moment. Unbelievable in the moment. Fantastic in the moment. And everybody's going to go, oh, man, that's awesome. Look at him taking accountability. Horrible in the long run. Horrible. There's already questions. Why are you running a double reverse and Jamison Williams is throwing a pass? Why are you doing that? Why? Coach, there's already questions that you pissed this away because you got a quarterback who had just hit guys in the middle, in the stomach, and next thing you know, you got a quarterback not throwing the ball. Jamison Williams is throwing the ball, and next thing you know, it's an interception. It's the biggest play of the year. You made the call. Yes, your offensive coordinator did, but you made the fucking call. So here's what happens. Here's the little... I love Dan Campbell with all my heart, with all my soul. I love Dan Campbell till I'm going to go die. I love Dan Campbell every day. Okay, all right. That's one. The other side is, well, no shit, coach. You're the coach. And then if you lose next year, if things don't go well next year, then guess what? Hey, man, you cost us last year. Hey, man, you this up. Hey, man, you did the, hey, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. That's real. Like right now, Dan Campbell is kind of on the tipping. Now, let me explain this to you. Dan Campbell is on the tipping point. Dan Campbell is being blamed. He's too wild. He's too crazy. He goes against it too much. He's too much of a risk taker. He does all these kind of things. But the idea is this. When you are at the tipping point, yes, you're going to get the praise that he got. Yes, some are going to say, some reporters that love him. But next year, when he Dan Campbell does it again, and he's going to go for it. And once in a while, it ain't going to work, and it's going to cost him the game. Or next year, when they go 12-5, and next thing you know, they lose in the playoffs. Guess what? Guess what? This game is going to come back. And it ain't going to be, well, it is going to be. The coach himself admitted that he effed it up. I'm telling you, this is awesome for people that don't like Dan Campbell. This is awesome for people that say, see, I told you, that style of coaching will not work because it's too crazy. It goes against the nerds. You saw the nerds yesterday, and God, it made me nuts. Third quarter, Baltimore, why are you going for two? Why? Baltimore, kick the extra point. You're down one. Let the game play out. Fourth quarter, down two. You got to go. I've seen it so many. It's like the gods. It's like the absolute gods go, hey, guess what? You went for one. We're going to make this thing right. You went for two. We're going to make this thing wrong. Mark Andrews always catches the ball. Always. The gods come back on you. And you don't get, I don't know why. I don't understand why. Trust me when I say this. I don't understand why. But when Dan Campbell goes out there and he says, well, you know, it's my fault. It's all my fault. The gods go, yeah? Watch this. And then next year, something's going to happen. And you mark my words. In fact, I marked it last night. I did. If I'm still on this show next year, we are going to play for you next football season where somebody brings that back, where somebody brings it back and says, yo, you even admitted you screwed things up. See, I did it once. I did it at Michigan State. We got our ass kicked when I was interim head coach at Indiana. And I'm like, you know what? I want to get these drug-infested clowns on my side. Let's take a swing. Yeah, it's my fault I didn't have them ready. It wasn't about I didn't have them ready. Are you crazy? They were as ready as they could ever be. We had gone over and over and over and over. Michigan State played out of their mind. But you know what happened? When they decided, you know what? When they decided, Dakich, you out. One of the things that people said, see, he even admitted he didn't have them ready for Michigan State. How does a coach not have them ready for Michigan State? Hey, can you play that again by Campbell? Play that again, will you please?
And you lose these games, man. It's like the players, you know. What they put into it, a lot of people don't know, you know, what they go through. You have to get up. Bodies beat to shit and, you know, mentally stay locked in and do those things. So, long season.
What happened on the 12 men on the field penalty?
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Mick going down so early.
See, people are going to say, boy, he cares about his players. No question. No question about it. Players are going to forget about it. Hell, half of them are in Cancun. I'm just telling you how players think. It's not fault. Like when Coach Knight used to go on a, you know, some kind of nuts ramp as a player, you know, I don't care. What's next? You know, I mean, you didn't pay attention. See, people think players pay attention because when a reporter asks a guy, hey, man, what'd you think of Coach Campbell? Oh, man, Coach Campbell loves us. Couldn't you tell? Right? Couldn't you tell? I mean, it's great, right? Couldn't you? Yeah, right? No, that's what they say. They don't care. But I'm just telling you, and I've given this talk at clinics. I've given this talk at clinics, basketball clinics. Coaches, don't take blame. You're blamed automatically. You are automatically blamed, period. The game is over. Your team lost. On the right, what is it, right side? I don't know what the hell. On the left side, it's a W. On the right side, it's an L. It's on the L. You're to blame. Every time, not every person, but every time. This is a very important thing to me. Like, I'm glad we started this show out with this kind of thing, because this thing to me is something that every coach needs to learn. See, you fans are nodding your head. You're like, yeah, I know this. Yeah, that's right. I know this. I knew it was his fault. I told you it was his fault. We were sitting there talking, and what did I say? I said it was his fault. And now he admitted it. Because every fan wants to be what? Smart. Oh, you go to that game, you know one thing is going to happen for sure. Every game I ever coached, even at Bowling Green, even when we were rolling, even when we were 24 and whatever, when we lost the MAC championship game and Bowling Green hadn't been in a MAC championship game, I think this was 2002. Bowling Green hadn't been in a MAC championship game since the 81-82 or something like that. But I knew this. My fault. Whether it was or not didn't matter. I still got people saying, well, you couldn't beat Kent. That's coaching. Okay, you're right. That's coaching. So those of you that are out there saying, hey, man, here's the deal. Hey, here's the deal. Great guy. Took accountability. Stupid. Yes, it's accountable. Yes. He did, but he doesn't have to. Not at all. Not even sort of. Don't do it. Coaches, ever. Don't ever admit it was your fault. All right? Okay. I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you. The Houston Texans should be pissed. I mean, what's going on here in the NFL? Can you tell I'm on one today? What's going on here in the NFL? I mean, honest to God. Every time, and good for Troy Aikman. I thought Troy Aikman was great the other night talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought Troy Aikman was fantastic last night. I did. Or whenever, 2 nights ago. I thought Kansas City Chiefs got absolutely every effing call there ever was, and I thought it was disgusting. The Oilers came up short versus the Chiefs in the divisional round on Saturday, and after the game, good for him. Good for D'Amico Ryans. He didn't shy away from addressing the elephant in the room, some questionable calls that went in the Chiefs' favor. Let me ask you guys. You watched the game. Hit me up on Twitter. Did you think Aikman was over the top? Or did you think the referees were giving the old to the Texans? What'd you think? Here's D'Amico Ryans. I'll tell you what he thought.
Yeah, we knew going into this game, man, it was us versus everybody. Right? When I say everybody, it's everybody. All the whatever. Everybody, the naysayers, the doubt, right? Everybody. We had to go against today. And, going with that, knowing going into this game, what we were up against, we can't make the mistakes that we made, right?
Everybody. And he's smarter than me. See, I get pissed off, or not pissed off. I get excited, and I just make points, and it doesn't matter what I say. See, he's smart. I would have gotten fined there. I got fined at Bowling Green one time, seriously, for criticizing officials, and I called the commissioner. I go, well, I don't make any money. What do you want me to pay you? Shoes? I got Nike shoes here. D'Amico Ryans was smart. He didn't get fined, but everybody knew what they saw. Everybody said, wait a second here. God, that Biden shit pissed me off. Anyway, D'Amico Ryans, that didn't piss me off as much, although it kind of did. Like, if you were watching that game, you're sitting there going, all right, time out. What are you doing? What's going on here? Why? They didn't touch him. How many times did we say that in the game? But it wasn't only Rhines. Will Anderson had a penalty called against him. And listen to this. Listen to this by Will Anderson, the former first-round pick rookie of the year out of Alabama. Listen to this one.
He's kept this organization, this team, all year, man. He has blessed us and favored us tremendously, man. And I just got to give all glory to him. And we knew it was going to be us against the refs going into this game. And, I talked to you guys early this week. And I was just saying, we got to go out there and we got to do us better. And, in some instances we didn't do that, some instances we did. So we just got to keep going, man. Next offseason, get the guys together, man. And, everybody just coming together and just keep building that team chemistry and get past this hump.
Will Dakich was asked post-game, comparatively speaking, teams like the Chiefs, Ravens.
We knew it was going to be us against the refs. How about that? How about that? We knew it was going to be us against the refs. I saw that a little bit yesterday. Referees did not have, they just did not have a great weekend. In the Big Ten, man, they were horrible. Michigan State, who, I love Tom Izzo. But, man, I also love Brad Underwood. And I thought they got jobbed big time. But that's a different story. That's a little lesser. This is a little bigger, right? This is a lot bigger. All right, here's the deal. Here's the big deal. You ready? When you are playing in a game of that magnitude, all right, you do talk to your team if you're D'Nico Rhines about, look, it's a road game, two-time champ, face of the league, basically, Pat Mahomes. We got to forget about outside noise and just play. And they did. They outgained them. They outplayed them. They got some horse bleep calls, and I don't blame them for being pissed. I don't. Not even a little bit. But I got to tell you, the NFL should be embarrassed because those were embarrassing calls. The NFL should look at these officials and go, well, what are you doing? The NFL, there are so many memes out there. There are so many memes out there of what's going on relative to the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a ton. They're flooding the intranet. Well, you got to take a look at that because there's got to be just a little sliver of truth. And that little sliver of truth became a big freaking gorge of truth because, frankly, we all saw it. Two heads colliding, boom, penalty because they hit Mahomes. And good for Troy Aikman. No. Good, great for Troy Aikman. Great for calling that out. How about the time when Mahomes kind of flopped? Now, I don't know. It's slippery out there. I don't know. And I hate to say that flopped because when I saw it initially, I figured a flag was coming. Left sidelines, he goes out of bounds, gets touched, acts like he got shot. I was glad they didn't call anything on that late hit out of bounds, right? But damn, sure looked like it. Hey, remember our guy Mick Cronin, the UCLA coach? Mick Cronin got pissed at his team. Mick Cronin a week or so ago got pissed at his team. I mean pissed. We're not tough. We're not this. And I said, look, every coach that becomes a coach now decides, I'm the toughest guy in the world. And I made fun of Mick, but Mick ain't wrong about this. Mick is not wrong about the travel schedule. See, 100 years ago, Gary and Aaron, you'll remember this. You young guys won't. Right before the NCAA tournament, Bill Frieder said, hasta la vista to Michigan. He thought he was going to coach his team. It was 1989. One of the most remarkable stories in the history of sport. Frieder goes to Arizona State. Bo Schembechler, the AD, says, no, Frieder, you ain't coaching us. A Michigan man is going to coach us. He puts in Steve Fisher. Steve Fisher wins a national championship. But I paid attention to Frieder. Frieder said, yeah, why'd you take the Arizona State job? Well, my wife wants to shop in L.A., San Francisco, Arizona. I want to live in that kind of weather. And I always thought about that after. I'm like, See, as a coach, I wanted to be miserable. Like, I didn't want it sunny outside because, well, I wanted nothing else to do. It's like this weekend. I was glad it was 0 degrees out because I didn't want to go outside. I wanted to watch football. Mick Cronin had this to say, and this makes so much sense. The background I gave you makes a little bit of sense when you hear Cronin right here. Here it is.
So much has been made about you guys going east. You just came back from a prolonged East Coast trip.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, have you seen anything from the teams that have to come out here and stay out here? Is there any kind of balance with that in terms of the wear and tear and just what you've seen on
Wear
the
and
court?
tear on them?
Yeah.
Is that a joke? Please tell me that's a joke.
Is it even comparable, is essentially what I'm trying to say.
Have you ever looked at the NBA stats and what the gamblers and all those people do on West versus East? Talk to Eric Musselman, ask him that question, who coached in the NBA. Good luck, West going East. Okay, and ask me UCLA's record east of the Mississippi in the last 20 years. Because when I got the job, I looked it up for scheduling purposes. It's under 500, okay? We have to go back 4 times. Oh, the Big Ten teams get to come to Los Angeles where it's 70 degrees 1 time a year. They don't even have to switch hotels. We're 12 miles apart. Are you kidding me? Please tell me you're kidding me. Is this a plan? Is this a planted question? I mean, you cannot be serious with that. And meanwhile, we've seen the Eiffel Tower, or we've seen the Statue of Liberty twice in the last 3 weeks while we were landing. We also saw downtown. We also saw the Capitol building. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, you can't possibly. And we still got to go back, and then we got to go back for the Big Ten tournament. But you can't possibly be serious.
Well, that's the thing. You have 4 more trips of those to make.
Yeah.
So
They do it 1 time. You can't possibly stop. I'm going to eat, man. You can't. I mean, he's asked me to feel sorry because Iowa had to come to L.A. for a few days.
That's what I'm saying. Now, that's a bullshit answer, okay? Look, I get it. Your administration wanted to go in the Big Ten. Okay, I get it. But the 70 and sunny hit me like, wait a second here. Hold on, I'm sitting here, and I don't know where it is where you guys are. Like, some of my guys are in Nashville. I'm probably 30 degrees. It's cold everywhere. Other guys are in New York City, where Rutgers is. Or, you fly in there, you go to wherever. And here it's 2. Like, it's 2. So let's think about here. Indiana, Purdue, Illinois. It's up north, Michigan, where I own a house up there. My mother-in-law's house, when she passed, we bought it. My brother-in-law lives there. He says minus 23. Like, it's like a vortex. Well, Michigan State is even north of that. Iowa's the coldest place on earth. Wisconsin, I mean, what are you talking about? People, it's a winter wonderland, except now it's like 1. And Mick Cronin could not, this is one of my favorite things ever, because it's so true. Like, you don't think about this when you're a fan. You just think, oh, man, Wisconsin's going out to UCLA, or UCLA's coming in here to Indiana as a coach. And the point about not having to move hotel is brilliant. Hey, we're going to be 70 and sunny. Thursday we're going to play Wednesday, on whatever day, because the Big Ten basically plays every day during the week, and then either Saturday or Sunday. So we're going to come out Tuesday for a Wednesday game. We're going to stay in the Hollywood Bowl or wherever. And then we don't have to move. You go play Rutgers, and then you go play Maryland. Well, you ain't staying in New York. These are the things. I'm glad Mick said that, because I don't think fans pay attention to that. Boy, I did as a coach. I remember first game at St. Bonnie. St. Bonnie. I called my AD after. I said, yo, don't ever put us in a hotel, motel again where the doors go outside. You know what I'm saying? Like a motel. Like the doors go outside and there's snow coming under the rooms of my players. I'm like, yo. But he's right. Oh, this was so good. What a day we're having. I mean, I'm on one, screaming, yelling. I love it. I absolutely love it. We had a great day today. We got MLK Day, so most of you are off. And you know what? I'm actually a big MLK fan. I am. The late, great John Saunders and I took a trip. We were doing a game in Alabama, and they asked us to stay to do the second round of the NIT. We took a trip, and we went to the Civil Rights Museum in Birmingham. And I really, really got to liking John Saunders, the late, great John Saunders, and the MLK Museum. I thought it was great. Well, I don't know if it was the MLK. It was Black History Museum, Civil Rights Museum. So I liked the day. And I've always worked on the day. If I was coaching, I worked on the day. If I'm broadcasting, I worked on the day. But we got inaugurations, so all the nonsense, the bullshit is out. We got national championship football game, so that's going on.